everyone. Welcome to Belly Dance Live with Meleah. I'm Meleah, of course, and I was so excited to teach this class today. I hope you are all signing in right now and getting yourself settled, get yourself a little space. And the warm-up video you will find on YouTube, so hopefully you did that in advance. We'll do a little bit in just a minute, but it's nice if you're kind of warmed up before we get started. So let's put on the music, and I'm so excited. Tonight we're having music by Beats Antique. You can see this one. There we go. All right, Beats Antique. Zoe Jakes has kindly given us permission. There's a lot of artists that are giving us permission to use their music for our online classes, and it's just so lovely. So this particular one is Blind Threshold, one of my favorite albums. So I think you're really going to enjoy it. All right, let me get the music going and we'll get started. There we go. All right, and make sure everything is good. Okay. So, let's roll the shoulders just a little bit. And as you know, tonight's class is all about figure eights. We're going to look at the 4 different types, roll shoulders forward, of figure eights, and some variations and things that you can do with those figure eights. And a big hip circle. And switch the other way. And just keep circling. I'm just checking my computer, make sure that we're all good. Let me know who's here. All right, so let's take a look at the first figure eight, which is going to be, we've got two horizontal figure eights and 2 vertical figure eights, all right? So we're gonna go over those and see how they feel. In both of the planes, one on a horizontal plane, there's one that's more natural and one that's a little more difficult. And then on the vertical plane, same idea. One is more natural and one is more difficult. So let's take a look here. All right, cool. Let's start on the horizontal plane. So imagine you're putting your feet in between the circles of a figure eight. If you draw the number 8 laying sideways on the floor and you step in each of those loops, that's where you want to be. Now take your hip, it doesn't matter which hip, because we use both. Take your hip, aim it over your front of your foot. Now circle it around to behind your foot. So it goes from the in front of your toe around behind to your heel. From toe around to heel, from toe around to heel, from toe around to heel. And you're drawing your figure eight in a backward direction. There we go. All right, keep moving. I'm checking my computer. All right. Still moving, yeah? There we go. Now make it big. And contracting your abdominal muscles to move your hips from front to back, front to back, front to back. Let me show you from the back. Also make sure you're in a nice little demi-plie. You're going to get a better 8 if your legs are not straight. So kind of squat down into that 8. Good, and a big hip circle, because we'll now transition. All right, still in the horizontal plane. You're going to take a hip, start at the heel, start behind your foot, circle it out and around. Bring it forward so the final place is in front of your toe. So you're bringing the two sides of the hip coming in and in to the front. All right, so start at the hip, come around to the toe. Hip to toe, hip to toe. Now this is the one that's a bit tricky. The body is a little wonky, the brain, actually the body's fine. It's just the brain. It gets a little confused on this one because it doesn't like to pull in. So as you're coming around, you want to feel the muscles contracting in an inward direction as your hip comes forward and ends up over the front toe. And right once you're there, you see this back hip is already over my heel. So take it out, around, and it ends up over the front toe. And then alternate. That's it. All right, keep moving. I'm still checking one more thing. Oh, good. I'm seeing your comments. This is great. Thank you. There we go. So here we are. So our forward one. And now switch, and we go back. It's an easy one. And switch and go forward. This one's a little bit tricky. But when you switch back and forth, you can feel. The thing is that sometimes it's just hard to tell if you're going forward or backward. So the forward one should feel like an inward direction directing toward the front. The rear one should feel like your hip is wrapping around behind your foot. Isolate now, stomach in, chest up, shoulders down, squat. As you go back, hold those arms in second so that your whole body doesn't do the 8 with you. And forward. And back. All right, start to pay attention to how your weight is shifting. We're on the backward direction. So I'm exaggerating a little. You can see as I shift my weight to this one leg, then I circle my hip. Then I shift my weight, then I circle my hip. We're going to prepare to walk. So you're here, back, 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 back. Now take a step, circle from front to back, over that foot. Take a step, circle front to back, over that foot, step, hip, step, hip, step, hip, step, hip. Let me do it away from you. Step, hip, step, hip, step, hip, step, hip. So the foot comes first. On this particular move, what happens in the brain is you're thinking, all right, you need to do an 8. So you start doing it with your leg. And it'll look kind of like a cowboy, right? So if you're feeling that leg rolling or the leg doing it, erase that. Your leg should be just walking, right? Just straight ahead. So take a small step. Now with your abdominals, do half the 8. Take a step. See my foot straight ahead. then the 8, straight ahead, then the 8, straight ahead, and then the 8. And then to the side. Straight, circle, straight, and circle the hip. So you're trying your best for your leg to do as normal of a step as you can. Just a normal, straight ahead step without anything to the side. Because the hip is doing this, right? The leg is just creating the footstep. So let's try. Should be getting a little better. There we go, just straight ahead. So once we get the walk, we can then go in a circle and do some traveling with this. So the figure 8 going backward, the rear figure 8, is one of the most commonly used steps to travel and to get one place to the other. So if I need to get over here, rather than just walking, I'm going to do my figure 8 across the room and turn around, and I'm going to go over here, right? So let's try this. Let's see. There we go. All right. So let's try this going forward. And I want you to make a turn either right or left. And another turn. And another turn. And one more. So you're just cruising along. As you are doing your figure 8, try this now. Don't go anywhere, walk, but just go around yourself. And make sure you bend those knees, all right? So you can really see. I'll show you from the back. This is a little higher, straighter leg. And then I bend. And then I don't. And then I do. So you can see quite the difference. When you bend, you can really get a good, gushy movement with your hip. So keep those knees bent. They tend to lock up and go straight on. You have to keep reminding yourself. So walk, turn, walk, turn. There we go. All right, switch now to the forward figure 8. Still horizontal. Around from back to front. Widen your base a little bit. So this is all stomach. There we go. Now pay attention to your weight shift. Exaggerate your weight shift. Meaning, as you twist your hip around forward, shift your weight more to that outside foot. And you can see the difference. I'm doing it here with a very small weight shift and now a larger weight shift. Why am I doing this? Because we're going to walk again. So as you turn, shift that weight. Now feel what happens. As you shift and put your weight there, you can take a step, right? Very easily. Well, sort of easily. So what's going to happen, you're going to turn your hip, shift your weight. Now before you get back to the other side, slide the leg that has no weight on it forward. So then as you come around, there you'll have a step. And slide the other leg forward, bring your hip around to the side and step on that foot. Step, step, step. All right? It's just a little bit tricky, but you have to work with it. All right, so forward. All right, we're going to try and walk now. Step. Hold those shoulders square and your arms in second. This one is very, very, very abdominal because see, our legs are doing, they're busy, right? So that leaves our abs. The abs have to make this figure eight happen, right? So the figure eight is happening in your stomach and the walking is happening with your legs. There you go. It'll get there, no worries. All right, now you can turn with this as well. Just turn, step around in a circle, and then we'll walk again. And turn around. All right, hopefully that felt okay, maybe. So we have walking with your eights going forward and your eights going back, all right? So let's just do a little bit of that. Figure eights forward, walk. Now, switch, figure eights back, walk backwards. And turn in a circle. There we go. All right, not too bad. Good, good. Okay, let me pick a different song, and we're going to look at now the 2/8 that we do on the vertical plane, all right? So that should be fun. To number 1. There, okay, all right. Look who's here.
Look who's here. Hi.
Nikki's here.
Hi,
everybody. This didn't work for me.
Oh,
so,
no, okay.
So can you do that while
yes,
I'm doing
totally.
this?
Let me...
Then we can see all your lovely comments.
I'm just going to do this real quick.
Yep. So,
Okay.
let's look at now our vertical plane, all right? So we have 2/8 in this plane. One goes up, like so, up and under. So this is like you're drawing the number 8 on the wall in front of you. It's here. The 8 is lying down. So there's a loop on the left side, right side. Each has a loop. It's not top to bottom, side to side, right? So on one side, drop the hip, pull it out. Now push it up with the ball of your foot and drop it in. So we're going to start here, making a circle, and left. Circle here. So when you drop down, you bend into the knee and the ball of the foot, push your hip out, lift it up with your leg. Now to get it in, you're going to get right in here in these abdominal obliques and contract. So it's going to feel very gushy again. I love gushy. So you bring your hip out, up, and then contract and really pull it in there. And that makes the circle. Make sure you are going sideways, all right? There's variations which we'll do in a minute. All right, so one side. Really, really good for the abs, as you can already feel. You're okay?
Everything is good.
And then one side. Now we'll put them together. So one circle. As you're transitioning down, shift your weight up, in, and contract. Shift your weight down, out, up, in, and contract. Also, your hands help a lot. Your hands are very connected to your brain. If you want to make this happen, put your hands on your hips and draw it with your hands. This is the shape you're making. Hold on. Now pick up your hip and push it in. It's amazing. It will help so much. Just clarify to your brain what's going to happen here. Again, nice knee bend, especially on this one. When you straighten, see you can't get as much. I mean, it happens, but it's not as pronounced. So squat down, use your foot. All right, now the fun one. So that's the under, right? Under and up. So what if we just went opposite, over and down, over and down. This is known as the Meleah, or the vertical 8 on a downward direction. Sometimes we just call them down vertical 8s or down 8s. Or Meleah, named after a dancer named Meleah a long time ago. This was her signature move. So let's break this down. So our first circle started down, out, up, and in. So track that in reverse. Go up, out, down, and under. All right, so again in your brain, down, out, up, and in. Up, out, down, and under. All right, so you feel that? So as you come down right here, if your heel goes down, it's going to make it more difficult. So keep this foot on the ball because you want to come down, bend into that knee, but keep your heel up a little bit. That allows your hip to go below center. If you just put your heel down, sometimes that will stop you. So if you see this, see I'm really kind of doing the top half of the circle. I'm not going under. So your 8 ends up looking like half of an 8, right? So you gotta think of the entire circle. So up, out, down. Now go under your center line. Keep your heel up. Bend your knee. Come under and back up to center. All right, try the other side. Use your hand to help. That's it. Up and around. Over, down, under, and in. All right, one of each now. So one on this side, one on this side. And over we go. There. This one's a bit tricky. I'd say of all the 4, wouldn't you say this is the hardest? Yeah, this is the hardest. So, for example, on a beginning level class, I even warm up with these figure 8s horizontal to the back because they're more natural for the body. And then as we get more comfortable, I introduce the forward horizontal. And then the next easiest one is under because that's also quite natural for most people. And then I wait for the over one because that's a little more tricky. It messes with your brain. It's not a natural movement, but it sure looks good. So you'll recognize it. It's the Shakira move from Super Bowl, right? La 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 la. Woo! Yeah, it's a goodie. It's one of my favorites. So you'll get it. You'll all get it. It's just a matter of when. All right. So let's look at some variations with these 8s, because when you start to vary them and mix them together, it starts to get really fun. So we are going to take the forward 8 in the horizontal plane and the upward 8 on the vertical plane. And we're going to marry them and hit something in the middle between the two. All right? So you start out going forward. Now, as you start your 8, lift up on the ball of your foot like you're going to come up. And then bring it over and down. So it becomes an upward diagonal. So if you have an 8 here, right, on the floor, if you took the edge of each circle and tilted it up, you'd have 2 diagonal circles rather than 2 horizontal circles. So that's what we're doing, all right? So you're gonna come up and over. It's sort of on a diagonal like this type of an angle. So start with your hip in the back. Instead of going around straight with of one and half of the other. Up, over, up, over, up, over, up. There. This also takes a little bit of work, but that's okay. I know you're up for it. Bend your knees. Bring it down. You're getting a really good foot massage right now. You're going all the way from the heel to the ball of the foot. All right, so now we mix this with the forward walk. All right, so get this going. Up and over, diagonal. Take a step. As you come to the outside, so watch this, we're here. How do I get to the other side? I twist on my foot and come up and over at the same time. Twist on my outside foot, so you mean turning, turning, turning. Now up and over and across. So you have to do this little thing with your foot, all right? Can you see my feet?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, so this way. Okay? So do you see how the foot, it twists? So you're just shifting your weight and twisting that heel around. That's how you get from side to side. So with that motion, up and over, up and over, up, arms in second. Up and over. All right, you really want some fun. Backwards. How does that work? Everything goes, ah! Because what does your foot want to do? It wants to step back, right? Yeah, of course it does. So, there's a trick. As you come up and over here, you're going to, as this foot is coming up and over, your other foot is stepping straight back. Now, straight back with your foot that's not working, so the front hip can do the loop. Then step back, up, over, step back, up, over, step back, up, over. You see, so you have to use the unused leg. The one that is doing the 8 is stationary. All right, one more variation on this one is to add an upper body undulation. This is more intermediate, advanced, super, super pretty, but somebody likes that.
I love this one.
So just, we did these in the squishy gushy class, right? But just to review, circling up and back with the rib cage, so you can see your body undulation. So let's say we added that. How are we going to do that? To the figure 8. Super pretty. You have to fight to hold those arms still because they go everywhere. But you can see it, right? Up and around and up and around and up and around. It's called an undulating 8. So depending on how long you've been at this, this might be a little out of reach right now, but you get it in your brain. So you see it, you record it, and you, okay, I'm gonna get there. So you see the undulation, yeah? Now, keep that knee bent because then you can really see. So you make it big and really contract. All right, stretch it out with a big circle. Oh. All right, let's look at some.
Can we get that one facing that way?
Yeah,
just a little
yeah,
bit, so we
yeah.
can see it from both
Sure.
sides too?
All right, let's try it this way. So up and over with the hip. Now add your undulation. You can see what the back looks like. Oh, this is so pretty. I love this move. It makes me really hot.
I was gonna say, I need to.
Well, it takes every single muscle that you have to do this, because you're like, okay, there's the chest and the upper back back in the middle. Lord, there's my shoulder, and oh God, you're just completely immersed in muscles. So it's a wonderful, wonderful move. So what I'm going to look at now are some lopsided figure eights, meaning we're going to do an 8.
While you do that, I'm going to check if everything's good.
Okay. Do an 8 that's bigger on one side than the other. All right. So we're going to start with the one of the easier ones. So vertical on the up. Up.
Everything's
So,
good.
all right, and I'm in the view. So, pick a side. I'm going to pick my right side. Do that one really big, and then when you get to the left side, just do a small one. Big, small. Big, small. Big, small. Big, small. Up. So naturally, this invites a level change. So lift that hip, now drop into the small one. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. So this one is really good to take sideways. Alright, so let's look at it going across.
Go that way.
I think we'll go that way. Big, little. Big, little. You're going to move away from the large hip. Whichever hip is circling the larger circle, push off of it onto the opposite foot. When you get to the small circle, just stay there. Push and pause. Push and pause. Push. Push. Let's try it the other way. Big, little. Up, down. Up. Now make the down more down. Right? So more up, more down. Oh, that's so pretty. Isn't that pretty?
That's
I love
beautiful.
that. Up and down. All right, good. That's a nice way to travel and get across the room. Of course, always do it on both sides, right? Okay, I'm gonna check my list and see. I had some other stuff I wanted to try. Let's see. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Okay, this is a little more intermediate, but it's super fun. So we're gonna go to the same figure 8. It's the vertical on the up. All right. So vertical on the up. So this is it's going to have a little bit of an accent, all right? So picture your two circles. You're coming around and you're coming around, all right? As you come up and over, right here, I want you to drop your hip more abruptly. So you're going to come up around and slam it down. Up, drop, up, drop. So it looks like this. Up, drop, up, drop, up, drop, up, drop, up, drop, up. And you're saying, how do we drop our hip? Well, let me ask you a quiz. How do we drop our hip? The answer is squeeze with the opposing glute muscle, right? If you've been following along, lift the hip, pick a hip, lift it up, just lift it with your leg. So it's this hip. Take this glute, squeeze it, boom, look what happens.
Magic.
Right? So lift, squeeze the opposite one, boom, right? Try it on the other side, lift, squeeze the opposite, boom, there, up, squeeze. Works every time. So you're gonna bring it up. Let's say this is my right. So big circle. As I get to the top, squeezing my left glute. So there's my accent. Now I shift weight, do the whole thing on the left side, bring it up, squeeze my right glute. There it is. So around, opposite glute, squeeze. Up and around, opposite glute, squeeze. So this works on 4/4 music, where you've got an accent after this music. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and keep going. 2, 3. I'm gonna turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks so good. I'm not squeezing very hard, I promise, I'm really not. It's just a little squeeze, right? And you can see the reverb. As it comes up, I'm gonna gently squeeze that opposite side, and it drops right into place. Then don't do anything. Switch to your other 8, lift it up, squeeze the opposite glute, up, squeeze, up, squeeze, up, squeeze, up, squeeze, up. Oh, I love this. I want to do this for about an hour.
Right?
Yeah, this feels so good, so good.
Yes, please.
All right, so let's do some combinations, right? Okay, so what if we get our 8 going forward? Now, up and over, we're going to kind of progress from one 8 to the other. So up and 8, add that variation. Lift on the ball of your foot, up and over. Now add your upper body, undulating 8. Ooh, squishy. Now add your accent. As you add your accent, remove your body so there's not too much going on. You see that transition? So you add in, and then as you get a different step, you take out other parts. All right, so we're going forward. There's a few transitions here. Forward, ball of the foot up and over, undulation. So that's the kind of our limit, right? We've got 3 things going on. Now pick a hip and do your drop, squeeze your glute, drop. At that moment, stop undulating. There. Yeah? That is good, huh? All right, let's try it. Let me face this way.
I get so excited.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want me to face this way or this way?
You face the front, I'll face the back.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Forward 8. Up and over. Add your undulation. And add your accent. Not really the right rhythm, but that's
so much.
okay. There. So pretty. So these little boom, these little accents are so fun. So just practice that because it's a great, you can put an accent anywhere. Just lift your hip up and squeeze the other glute. Lift, squeeze, lift, squeeze. It's a great technique. You can put it in the middle of almost anything. Anytime your hip is in the air, you can push it back down with an accent. All right, one other combination I really love. It's called over-under. And we're going to do it plain, and then we're going to do it with quarter turns.
Yes.
So, okay.
I'm so excited about it. These are all like my favorite moves. We're doing
They are, they are. All right, so over-under is combining the vertical 8s over, so upward and over, the hard one, the Maya, and under. So we're going to do half of one and half of the other. So pick a hip, go up and over, pick another hip, go up and over. We're going to do this for a second here. Over. All right, so now you do get to stop at your midline. So here's my midline, here's my hip. I'm going up and over and I'm going to stop right there, right? So up and over, stop. So then you're going to reverse. Pick it up and in. So try it on one hip. Up and over, down, up, squeeze in, and drop down. So you're making, you have a circle, the circle of your 8, you're covering that top half. So you're going up, over, and under. And up and over, and under. So it's half of the over 8 and half of the under 8 smushed together. It looks really, really good. So over, under, over, under, over, under. Try your other hip now. Do we have questions?
Let me go look.
I think we might.
Could be.
Over, under, over, under.
Oh, no, everybody just joining, saying
Okay.
hi.
Okay.
You guys talking to each other.
All right, good. speed. Let's speed it up. Over, under, over, under. All right, so now, that's the beginning of it. That's not the real step yet. Because we want to do the complete 8. So over, over. And then the complete 8 the other way. Under, under. Over, over, under, under. You have to keep track of your center really closely. You have to remember where center is. So it's in the middle with the knees slightly bent, little wider base. Go up and over, do half of the Maya and the other half. Now after you get out there, don't complete the circle, stop. Pick it up, come in, contract, put it back down in the center. Do the same thing to the other side. So you have a half circle, the other half of the circle, the other half of the circle. So over, over, under, under. Over, over, under, under. There's a lot happening, so we don't do as much, we don't add all the undulations with this one because it's interesting enough on the bottom. So just hold your arms in second, over, over, under, under. 2, 3, 4. So whichever hip you're starting on, pause for a moment and get finished with this one. So that was my right. I'm going to start with my left now. Over, over. Pick up the other hip, under, under. So you have 2 on the top, circle, 2 on the bottom. Over, over, under, under. Keep going. Let's see.
Right, another song.
Yeah, we need a different rhythm. There. That looks so good. Over, over, under, under. Now we get to add our quarter turn. Ha ha. So, quarter turn. Your feet are basically together. You're doing all this stuff, right? You're going to, as you're coming in, you're going to turn your shoulders 1/4 of the room. So turn your shoulders, and your hip goes with you. Turn your shoulders again, and your hip goes with you. I'm standing on one foot. I have the ball touching on the other foot, but I don't have full weight on both. The weight is on my flat foot. So, and my flat foot is my left. So I'm turning to my left. Turn my shoulders left, the hip follows. Again, the hip follows, again, and again. So, with the over-under, each time we do a set, we do a quarter turn. So, over, over, under, under, quarter turn, do it again. All right?
All right.
So, let's say we start on our left side. We go over, over, under, under. Okay, so here we are under. Turn shoulders, quarter turn, do it again. Over, over, under, under. Turn shoulders, quarter turn. Over, over, under, under, quarter turn. Over, over, under, under. Alright? There's a lot happening. So let me show you what it looks like to speed. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm going to go around again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over, over, under, under, over, over, and last one.
Uh-oh.
Maybe?
Sorry.
Well, I was thinking.
I watched it. I was like, yeah, I've got it. Just kidding.
I think I did too. Because I'm thinking ahead. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Also, my left side not as good as my right side.
Yeah, I like my right side a lot better.
Just say it. Just say it.
Yeah. So you can see where it fits in. Over, wait, over, over. Start on that same side. Under, under. As you hit that under, turn your shoulders right away. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. I didn't get up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. I got it. because you saw I got one going, and then the other one said, oh, I didn't want to go because I didn't push with my legs. Right, so make sure you push with your legs. All right, let's look at one more combination.
All right.
Let's see what it is. Oh yeah, okay. Side body wave, step across, okay, all right. So, this is a variation that comes out of the 8. You're gonna do a side, so remember the 8 vertical, over, goes side, side. But you can extend, and you can do, let's see, what did we do? We did big, little. All right, so 2 things we're gonna do. One side of that over vertical, I'm gonna face this way. One side, over, step, over, step, over, step, over, step, over, and then the other way. So this is half of your vertical 8 on the down, right? Over and down. You use it to travel up, over. As soon as you get there, bring your foot in. Up and over, bring the foot in. Up and over, foot, over, foot, over, foot. So let's do that a little bit, and then I'll show you my last combination. So here we go. Over, 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 over. This one's kind of easy, because you're just using one of your hips, but boy does it look cool. Switch directions. Remember to just do one side. It kind of pulls you off, right? All right, so that's the basis for this one. You've got that hip going, right? Got it going. So you're going to take the body with you. You're going to go over, and you're going to take the rest of you up to that new position. So if you remember the body wave coming up the body, this is going to come up the body on the side. Up and over on the side. All right? So equal weight. Step out with a foot. Up and over. Wave. Now your weight's on your outside foot. This foot is free. Cross it over. Turn your shoulders. And you're back to the front. Right? So side body wave. Crossover turn. All right? Side body wave. Crossover turn. How do you keep from falling on the crossover turn? Yes, okay? When you come around, your natural inclination is to bring your weight forward. And that makes you fall to the side, right? Almost every time. If you're here and your weight is forward, you fall to the side. So the foot that you're crossing is going to end up behind you. Behind you. Put your weight on your back foot. Ta-da! And you have stability every time. All right? Cross over. Weight to the back foot. Back foot. And it'll work, yeah? Try the other side. Cross over. Weight on the back foot. It's a slow move usually, so you can think about it. As I'm turning, I'm shifting my weight. So right here, as I almost finished, my weight is now on my back foot, so when I land, I'm safe, more or less. And if I don't get it right, almost every time, I fall over. Almost every time. All right, so let's try side body wave, crossover turn, weight on the back foot. Oh, good. All right, one more time. Side body wave, crossover, land. All right, other side. Side body wave, crossover, land. I almost didn't shift my weight that time. I could feel myself. Ah! You have to make yourself do it. All right, so this comes out of the 8's. So let's say we're going to do, all right, let me get over here. I'm just making this up. So one hip over, traveling. The one we just did. Travel, travel, travel. All right, now, side body wave, around, crossover turn. So you can do it out of that traveling move. Travel, 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 side body wave, crossover turn. And travel, 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 side body wave. All right, last one. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, wave, and around. So 2 key sequence for that turn. Do it with your shoulders, cross your foot, turn your shoulders. That will give you more balance. Weight on the back. If you remember those 2 things, you'll make it around every time. All right, I think that's going to conclude our figure 8's class.
Did you say you had 2 more things? Was that the 2?
This one was the one, and then the side body wave. So we got a lot to chew on. Hopefully you had as much fun as I did. And let's see. Thanks again to 8's Antique, Zoe Jakes for letting me use the music. And make sure you comment. Let me know that you're here. Feel free to share it. It's going to go up on YouTube, so you can rewatch it there as many times as you like.
So make sure you subscribe to Meleah's YouTube channel, and then you'll have access to any of that as soon as it becomes available. And put on your notifications for live so that you get a reminder that it happens.
And then you do that.
So it's usually when you watch this one or the end of this one, it'll give you a little thing, or you can just the 3-dot menu, and one of those it'll say notify, like put on notifications.
Okay.
For Meleah going live.
All right.
Most people know how to do that. And then there's 2.
Not me.
We have 2 questions. One question was about the music.
Yes.
So tell us about the music again.
Okay. So again, it's 8's Antique. Let's see there. What? There. Okay. 8's Antique. Blind Threshold is the title, and the band is 8's Antique, and Zoe Jakes is the main producer.
And they
gave me permission. They also do shows all over the country, so once we're let out of our little cages and we can go to shows again, they put on an amazing show.
And then the other question was, somebody was at Salsera Nikki? Yes, it is. Same Nikki. Hi. Do belly dancing as well.
Yes, yes.
And then the other thing when is your next class?
So this is, what are we on?
Today's Saturday.
You know, I really don't know what day it is.
I don't think anybody does.
No, but I think it's Saturday. So we'll do Wednesday. Our regular class time in person was always Wednesdays at 7:45. So I'm going to run this Wednesday at 7:30. That'll be pretty consistent, at least for the month of April. And then Saturday was just a bonus class because so many people wanted another day. And so we're moving Saturday to 6 p.m. so that still there's probably other things you want to watch after this.
Yeah. And then there was something I was going to say and I forgot. Oh, Meleah also is available to do private lessons by Zoom or
I think I figured out the Zoom thing.
Yeah.
So if you want to I can see a few of you. So if you want to do like a group thing, like 2 or 3 of you, that's fine. That could be really fun.
That would be cool.
Yeah, Zoom, it's kind of getting there. It's a technology.
Oh, and then the other thing that you said in one of the other videos was if they wanted to record themselves and send the video to you, you would be happy to give some feedback on it.
So go ahead and do a little video of yourself doing some of the moves. Ask me questions, and I will answer them.
All right. Yeah, let me check and make sure there's no other questions.
Let's see if there's any other questions that I need to answer.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aw, everybody's saying thank you. How sweet. Okay. Great workout.
Okay, yes, that sure is a great workout. Okay, then I'm going to sign off, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me.